No one knows why these staircases appear in the forest. Those who climb are never the same. No one knows why these staircases appear in the middle of the forest, but those who climb them are never the same again. You're deep in the forest. No signal, no noise. Just you and the sound of leaves crunching under your feet. Suddenly, you stop. Something catches your eye between the trees. A structure, white, perfect, in the middle of nowhere. A staircase. No broken steps, no dirt. Seemingly brand new. But no one knows why it's there, or how it got there. Forest rangers have only one rule about these staircases: never climb them. But what happens to those who do? This story begins with mysterious accounts from online forums like Reddit, especially from communities of rescue workers and environmental patrols. People who spend days, sometimes weeks, isolated in remote areas. Some of these accounts are written plainly, others with emotion. But almost all share one detail in common: the staircases. Structures completely out of place. Some made of wood, others of concrete. Some with a modern look, others old, moss-covered, but perfectly preserved. One of the most repeated stories is from a forest firefighter who wrote, "We find staircases in the woods at least twice a week. Always the same style, straight, clean, and completely out of place. The first time I saw one, I started walking toward it. But my partner grabbed my arm and said, 'Never go near those things.'" The forest soldier, one ranger, tells the story of a rookie, newly hired, who spotted a staircase and thought it was a prank by the veterans. He climbed all the way to the top, and then, seconds later, he started screaming. Nonsense, words in another language. When he came down, he passed out. Spent 2 weeks in the hospital with a dangerously high fever. No tests showed any infection or medical explanation. The Mute Man. Another account describes a patrol officer who climbed one of the staircases just out of curiosity. It looked like an old iron staircase, anchored into the ground. He climbed slowly. When he reached the top step, he stopped, stood there staring into nothing for almost 2 minutes. When he came down, he didn't say a word. He never spoke again, even after psychiatric and psychological treatment. The sound beneath your feet. Some say that when they climb, they begin to hear a sound from below, as if someone or something is climbing up with them in perfect rhythm. But when they look back, the steps are empty. Others describe the air changing as they ascend. The temperature drops. The sounds of the forest disappear. It feels like being somewhere else, a suspended space where time and logic don't apply. A hunter once said he climbed a stone staircase out of curiosity. From the top, he could see the forest normally, but it was completely silent. And then he saw a version of himself walking through the forest right below. There are many theories, none confirmed, but all equally disturbing. Dimensional portals. Some believe these staircases are gateways between realities, steps that act like antennas, opening invisible portals. Those who climb don't just ascend physically, they ascend spiritually. Or worse, they trade places with something else, alien or government experiments. Others claim the staircases are part of experiments, strategically placed to observe human behavior. Who puts them there? No one knows, but there are reports of drones flying over the area right after someone climbs them. Indigenous legends. Some Native American cultures tell stories of structures that call, objects that appear to lure the curious, and those who approach are taken by entities that live among the trees. Not all staircases are the same. Some are wide with side railings, others thin and fragile, swaying in the wind. One was reported in the middle of a swamp, Nobasi, just floating as if held up by something invisible. And there are cases in other countries too. Germany, Bavarian forest. Japan, near the Aokigahara forest. Brazil, isolated reports in the Amazon. Coincidence? Or is there a global pattern? To this day, no one has proven what these staircases really are. Most who approach them come back different. Others simply vanish. But there's a silent consensus among those who live and work in these remote areas. If you're walking through the forest and you see a staircase standing alone, connected to nothing, do not approach and never climb. Would you have the courage? Or would you obey the warning, even without knowing why? If this story gave you chills, imagine the ones still to come. Leave a like, share this with someone who would climb those stairs, and subscribe for more stories you'll never forget. Until next time.